Welcome, Michael Magrutsche. I've missed you. It's been 2 weeks, no, 3 weeks since we've had a chat. My name is Michelle Cheyne from the Wisdom Seekers Society, and I'm always happy and excited to chat to you, Michael. I am not going to ask you how you are because I can see you're alive, and that's all that's important.
That's exactly. That's
um,
all that counts. Yeah.
yes, yes, and that you have a smile is also good. Maybe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
But I'm always an 8. When we all these discussions and people say, "So where you are from a 0 to 10?" And I said, "I'm always an 8."
Yes, eight's a good number. In
Yeah.
numerology, this year is an eight. So
Money,
we on
money.
yeah,
Ask the Chinese about 8. You know.
and an octopus. We're both founding members and very enthusiastic members of the octopus movement. So the octopus was
Perry, 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 Perry. It's all about Perry, Perry.
uh, today we're talking about enoughness. So
Yeah.
what is enoughness? Does it exist? Can it ever be enough?
It exists from nature. We are by nature enough, right?
Yeah,
We are each one of one.
yeah,
And I always question the thing, why are we each one of one? Because we're not only one of one by physical traits, our fingerprints, ears, eyes,
mm,
whatever, and DNA,
mm,
but I also discovered, especially since we dance in the octopus movement and with you, that everybody is different because your kids should be all the same, right? I mean, you're a very strong person. You're not a weak person. If
yeah,
you're a weak person, I say, okay, well, you are a strong person, and
mm,
all kids, everybody is different, and
yes,
everybody has a different view on life.
yeah,
That one guy is a sports guy, the other one is a punk rocker, or whatever. It's just, you
yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
it's always different. So, can there be in humanity be experts like coaches and all this stuff? They
Yeah.
can engage you to dance. They're not really telling you what to do because it's impossible, because everybody's one of one. I cannot I mean, you can be vegetarian, and you are, right? And I am on keto, so it doesn't matter. You're one of one. You need to eat what your body needs,
Yes.
not what the
Yeah.
generalizing is.
But that comes back to our own innate wisdom. Like there is inside ourselves, we know, but
What
we
is
get
good?
sidetracked. And I think this is a lot around enoughness as well. We listen to and see what we think other people are experiencing, and we go, "Oh wow, I'm not as good as," or "I should do more," or how do I become better so that I can also be like them, or and it's all perception. So how I see you isn't necessarily how you are.
Hmm.
You are in your own world as a one of one. You experience life through your own perceptions and how you see it, but I can't really see it that way because I am my one of one.
Hmm.
So whatever I see is through my own eyes and my own perceptions.
Hmm. And that's why when we dance, what happens is, that's why dancing is the biggest expansion of human potential.
Mm.
Because if we dance, I'm opening my unique perspective. You open your, and you take what you need, and you leave what you don't need.
Mhm.
So there's people that read a lot of books, and I said it's great to load a lot of books. Obviously, neurodivergent people can't read books, especially me. I wrote 6, but I can't read them, so I have the computer read them to me.
Yeah.
But when we read books, it's the knowledge. It's also, we take what we need, and we leave it what it is.
Mm.
But it is not experience. We don't experience the knowledge. We read the knowledge linear
Mm.
and say 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's a linear thought.
Yeah.
While when I dance with you, I get so much more through my 6 senses. I get so much more information when I dance with you.
Only
And
because
that,
you open. Only because you open to the dance. and you're not here to tell me how I must think, or I'm not here to tell you how you must think. We are dancing, which is both sides are in the process. We're both experiencing it through our own senses, and it's a different experience for each of us.
And there's no goal. There's no common goal. When 30 minutes is over, it's over. That's it.
Yeah.
So when you don't, okay, that's why I'm saying dancing, not just communicating. Communicating is another thing, but dancing, you open your six senses, and you need to be with feeling. You can't just think. You can't, when you dance, you can't just say, okay, this is what I need to say. I need to tell Michelle this, and that's it. No, it doesn't work. You need to dance. And when I feel that more people dances, they literally, I'm doing an experiment with communication, and we find that when four people, they say, define this word, and they define the word, and when you dance, everybody's right. It could be, love is everything. Okay, that's a truth. But love is makes you feel good. That's also true. Love can hurt. That's also true. So what actually I find with dancing is, and love is a feedback loop. That's what I say. I came to this thing that is a feedback loop when you're balanced. So we come to that. And when you dance, you actually realize that the different life perspectives are all right. They're not wrong. They're not systemically binary, where it says, that you got to put that screw right here, and you got to push that button on the computer. That's system relevant. And in system relevant, there's right and wrong, because if you push the wrong button, how often have we done that? The whole thing that disappears or whatever. So there is a right or wrong, but it's not in the human-centric part. When you dance with humans, that's not. And that's why I'm saying this is our power, because I always wondered, like I said, why is everybody one of one? Because nature hasn't meant to be, that otherwise nature would have made us all one of the same. Would they say woman, man, that's it, And it was a long time woman, man, and then it was race, and then it was sexuality, and there was everything else. But in general, it would be only woman, man, and you cannot grow in that experience. You cannot grow, or you do minutely grow.
Well, you grow to a ceiling, and then you can't go further because you're stuck within that system.
Exactly.
And interesting, I watched a movie last night around Jesse Owens. I don't know if you know about him. He was a black athlete he went to the 1936 Olympic Games. And since we've been, having conversations, and I've been thinking about this system, because I get very angry at the system, and you have made me think about it in a different way as to the anger or the rebelling against the system doesn't work. It doesn't help me or the system. And I was
other humans. Because when you fight the system, you fight other humans that are dependent on the system. So
I was watching him, the impersonation or the how they were portraying him in that role. He was in Germany. He was having to meet Hitler, facing all these truths as they were happening, these atrocities, and then coming home to the land of the free and having to use the service entrance to attend a event in his honor. But, and his coach was fighting this. He was standing up and, this is wrong. And Jesse kind of he just went with it, because he wasn't, and in that process of not fighting it and just also not allowing it, not going, okay, this is okay, but there was no use in fighting it. In that side entrance, he got to meet a little boy who was so taken by him and got his autograph, and he connected with another human, of the opposite race, who had no judgment against him. But he wouldn't have had that engagement if he was fighting. It kind of, we lose our human centricity when we fight the system.
Mm-hmm. And also, how can the system ever grow when we fight the system? The system, also, first of all, which is very, very essential, is we cannot fight anything, a tribe. We cannot fight a tribe. I cannot fight a tribe because the tribe is set up to help each other in emergency. And that's what we kind of, the world is right now in a fight flight.
Yeah.
And that's why people cling to systems. That's why people say, oh, I need to be connected with the big leaders and with this to be somebody. That the big leaders know the least. The big leaders are the most disconnected from humanity, because they are, encapsulated up in their ivory tower. I feel not happy for leaders. I'm feeling empathy for them, because they were thinking, when I become a leader, then and we talked about this,
Yes.
why do I want to become a leader? I want to become a leader to finally be myself, my one of oneness, and do what I feel is right or I want to do. And it doesn't happen at that, because you are much more segregated when you are a leader, or rich, than when you are in a normal. I'm not saying poor, but I'm saying in the normal middle class.
Yeah, unless we go as leadership being a team function, and it's a long game. In the long game, we don't need to strive for power. We're striving for strength. So, and that's where I want to kind of bring it back to what you mentioned just now around the tribe. So this is something very interesting for me, and I also call the wisdom seekers as a tribe. I see that there's so much. I don't even like the word purpose, but there's a belonging that comes with us knowing ourselves, and automatically or naturally, organically, we find our space within a tribe, because we can embrace our differences. We can't all be medicine women or medicine men, or we can't all be hunters, we can't all be farmers. Each of us has a space, and it can involve many of those functions, but we are seen as unique, which I think we've lost a lot within in society, kind of, as we have evolved, we've kind of gone backwards, because we've lost our place as our unique version of ourselves. And that's where I feel we've lost our enoughness, because we're trying to find other ways to connect, whether it's through money or titles, or
connect systemically.
Yeah,
because what happened after the Second World War, when everything became capitalism and democracies too. So I'm not at all upset about capitalism. At that time, we needed it. At that time, people had nothing, and all of a sudden they had something. So the capitalism was perfect for that. Only the problem is, like I keep telling people and they're not listening, is that they need to be updated, because human grew. From human, being happy to have a loaf of bread every day at night, to having money to buy bread and do whatever, there's a difference. Our work changed, everything changed. And it
is changing more and more as we're going forward.
Yeah. If you don't update the system, the tribe, if the tribe stays in the Middle Ages, I mean, look at the educational tribe. 1845, they still do the same thing, because we try to get everything out of it, because it's the collective lack which we talk to. It's the collective lack that people, and nobody can escape. See, people always, I love that, because people say, yeah, but I'm super rich, I'm a billionaire, I'm going to go to Hawaii and I'm doing this and have a bunker and everything. There's no way out. Nobody on this planet can out. Even if you go to Mars, you can't get out, because the humans are connected. And the reason why humans are connected, because everybody's one of one. If everybody would be not one of one, you can be exchange humans. It's just kill those and do this. But one of one is the reason for one of one is the synergistic fit. And when we and this is what you and I do. This is the work to say, how can we find the one of one in us and in others, and how we can be synergistically work together, because then when you do this, and this is what I have proven now in the talks, it's people are right. It's not right or wrong. People are right, and they open with their perception. Even if I look at love as love is everything. Yeah, if I look at that love, and I believe love is a feedback loop, I still be reminded, my perception about love is reminded of that. If I think about empathy, I learn, there's 15 voices of empathy, and they're all right, because otherwise language wouldn't be an error to go there. It's a directional error. It's not a linear, binary error. It's not that there's one word and that's what that word means. No, there's a ton of newer language fiend. So that's a lot of work, and that's only can work when we use our six senses and when we understand our process, our function. We're always looking for the form, and we change the form, like we change words and everything. But it's the function of what language is. It's the function what humanity is supposed to be, one of one instead of system relevant. System relevant is important when we do a motor, when we do it. And that's why we lose, because when I'm generalized and say all woman, all man, when you generalize in this, I mean, do you feel like all woman? I don't feel like all men.
No, not at all. No.
The systems, because they're outdated, treat you like a woman, like whatever they believe still that women are. You see, it's the outdatedness. And the enoughness comes by realizing we need to update our systems. Number one is very important. They are like tribes. Our systems need to be also updated and made beautiful. Like when you go in the underground of Moscow, it's a palace. You should, like, it's beautiful. I mean, you should go to social services and enjoy it. Have kids paint, have everything beautiful, have it. So I'm not hating the time. I've limited time, right, on this earth. We have 100 years, perhaps. So you go and have to endure all these outdated systems. Filling out this, filling out that, filling out this, doing this, standing in line, and it's not made pleasure even. It's not even made pleasurable, So this is what we have to look at that. And enoughness is, our lack is so big now. And we talked about the financial principles, that they're outdated too. And everyone today, and you're gonna love this, is saying you can save money. And you and I know there's no money laying around that you can just pick up. I can just say, hey, I want to paint this, and I get somebody, to paint, give me money. So everything is about saving money. There is actually, we are so creative. We created a whole environment of AI, which is all to save you money, and everybody loses. Is capitalism about how much you save, or is capital you have an idea for a new hairspray or something, and you sell that hairspray and make money? Is it about saving? No, it has a little bit in capitalism. It has a little bit apart. Obviously, you want to be not spend, wasting money. But economy is shifting now to saving money. It's already in it, to saving money. What are we doing? Why do I have to? 95% of businesses fail after the third year because of cash flow problem. What are we doing? We gotta look at that. And there's nobody excluded. I don't give anything if you have billions of dollars, because you think 70-80% about money, and the beggar on the street thinks also 70, and is life thinking about money. So the enoughness is that we I don't know what the stamp is for enoughness. But we want to start thinking. That's why we awareness coaches that make people aware that they themselves, not what I say, but that's why I say awareness is built for all humans, all individuals. They can use it. Every human in the world can use, I have to segregate system relevance, that's a different area to play, and human-centric. And that instantly gives you 50% more energy,
Yeah, because you see or appreciate the uniqueness of each person, and therefore you get to feed off and play and dance with others, and energy kind of can flow. You sent me an interesting video as well, which I wrote down this term, desire is a trap. And I think that's also a lot around this enoughness conversation. We are taught this formula of do, have, be. When I do enough, I can get more, and then I can be happy or be satisfied or be content, instead of looking at it from if I be first, if I am me, then I can have that feeling, and I will be able to do everything I need to be, I'll have that energy, as you say, to do the things that need to be done.
What are we? What are we? Human beings, not human doings. So if I desire something, I'm not in the moment at all. And basically, I negate the moment. If I say, you know what, I have to pay the bills, I wish I could, then I'm not focusing on the dance with you.
Yeah.
And the dance with you can actually happen that you say, I have this job, I just got this job for us. And it would have happened, but I was so tight that you wouldn't even offer me the job. In the dance of humans in enjoying each other's uniqueness and saying this is priceless, because we are opening our perspective and learning from the perspective. For me, I learn from me. I'm not learning for you. I'm learning from me.
Exactly.
And I'm becoming more conscious because I'm one of one, and you learn too. You learn from my reactions, it doesn't mean what you say, the context. It might be how I react to it. It confirms what you believe. It give another check mark. That again, and you find more of who you are, and that's the key, because we know that the most changes in society and everything never come from top down. Never. And I'm not for revolution or anything. It comes from, I'm saying one thing, because let's say you have a real high gas prices and people are really upset about the basket. And when the awareness of humans get too high, what is going to be usually made by leaders? They go cheap on the gas prices and charge you on something else, more taxes on bread or something. So money is not, and this is the sad thing, money is supposed the representation of your uniqueness, which is aligned with the nature. It should be the representation of your uniqueness that you contribute to humanity, not systems, humanity. And that's why you should be. So if you make chickens and, same thing, you make chickens, I make hammers. How many hammers can you use? So money helps us. I can eat a lot of chickens, but you cannot use a lot of hammers. So that's why money is such a brilliant idea, because it allows me to expand, to be more who I am, and to live a more pleasurable and balanced life. Because we know that poverty is even the worst. Poverty is making people more in fight flight, and it's very easy today where everybody, the billionaire to the beggar, is in fight flight to make somebody poor. That's why you have people, millionaires, they kill themselves, and billionaires, and that's why they drop or they do something crazy and lose all this stuff. So that's why you have that.
And that's a power relationship as well. The poor don't have a voice. They don't have the freedom. They don't have the things that they yearn for, because they are not enough. But in our society, we've used money as an example of value, and we are, we are exchanging money for system relevance. So for most CEOs or high leadership people have sociopathic tendencies, or there's elements of psychopathy, and we are rewarding that. So we're taking that humanity away from the exchange of money. Artists don't get paid, as much. The artist is always the one that is struggling, or the creator, those human-centric kind of aspects.
But the leaders are the same as us. The whole thing is the leaders are in no way better or worse than us. They are just pushed in a position. They thought, if I'm a leader, if I'm a billionaire, I'm free. And I mean, you see how many there was some politicians or something that made they would have had they stole money, and they would have had that in a week. Would made that money, and they still stole that money, and they would have just waited a week and had the money. And that's what I'm saying. They are totally in fight flight. If we in fight flight, they are totally in fight flight, because we need whatever this much money to live. They need 400 million to live. I mean that because they make it more and more, and it's always about more and more, and it's not about better either. And it's all about this. Now it's all saving money. There's nowhere to go. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go if you make Elon Musk? Where are you gonna go?
What fulfills you though? How are you being filled up as a person, as a human? I just had this thought that came up around, I'm very interested in astrology at the moment, and learning about all these shifts happening. And I think we are moving into more of a collective, we're starting to listen and to see and go, there's a difference between AI and the jobs that AI can do, and the jobs that humans and, our creative input in the world, the contribution of that is much greater. But now there's an economic, and I think we need to chat about this in a different episode, but there's a instability, because now we, as you say, saving money, but still the humans are suffering because they don't have clean water. How can people be dying from no water, and yet we spending money on things that are really irrelevant, or accumulating as much as we can.
The thing is with it's not telling the truth. I think it's so, because if you're one of one, you can tell the truth, because nobody can say you're not true. You're not feeling that. I like red, and you say no, I like yellow. Why do I need to like yellow when I love red, right? I mean, so it's when we look at this, that everybody's one of one, and everybody can actually find their own one of one, then we don't need to compare. You compare. You compare and say, how does she do? But the comparing is more, we talking and dancing with each other is more that I understand why you are happy in this part, and why I am not happy in this part. But I will never understand saying, tell me what to do. You cannot tell me what to do. I can dance with you and experience, because the knowledge is the experience. And that's why just reading books and just being on the web doesn't do anything. You have to communicate. And the other thing is, you don't have to just, I'm looking at all these people, everybody's like, hey, I'm going to promote this. I never promote anything. I just speak, and I don't want to, I don't want to be the, I have 5-star and I can give you 3 for free. I mean, it's just, we are all, and this is where AI can take. The more system relevant we are, the more we do all the same generalizing, the easier it is to take over AI. It takes over, and AI is taken over first. If people are afraid of being taken over by AI, it will be the leaders. It will not be the people.
Because there's, it's this, I know you don't like the linear and non-linearity kind of concept, but for me, it's a lot around that. There's a linearity around what AI can do. It's data, it's input, it's education, teaching people how to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
But to be the free thinker and to think random thoughts and connect patterns that aren't obvious is where the magic lies. I think I came up with a better word that I'm going to use for leaders. That concept of not leaders, trailblazers. People that are pushing forward in different ways instead of exercising power over a group. That for me isn't the same. And then with every conversation we have, there's magic that happens within each person that listens or participates, and that can't always be shared. We can't always express that. That is our gift to ourselves, what we do with that. So yeah, Michael, we are on 30 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. No, it's six senses. It's six senses versus binary. Either or. It's not
and
either or.
comparison is also binary. So it's, all these binary concepts for me are what puts us in lack and not enoughness.
Yeah, because we are enough, because we are 101. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. And there is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
I can like blue and yellow and red, and you might not like any of them. So
exactly.
That's it. Thank you so much. I will see you again next week, and we will talk about, I think we're talking about systems being art that humans created.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.